It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them Canada Dry.
It's time for D-A-D. It's Dynamite After Dark, baby.
Time to shine. Hit it.
Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my occupation. Tell me what's my race. Tell me is it with inflation. Tell me what's my age. Tell me what's my race. Tell me all my sexual distaste. Tell me what you need. Tell me how you feel. Tell me all your information. I wanna know.
Yeah, love the new intro.
Thank you.
I love that explosion at the end. That is boss.
I wanted it big, and I got it. Big
I can
explosion.
smell the smoke. It is
Oh,
so
wait a
good.
minute. You sure that's not the Canadian virus?
I'm in the West. I keep telling you.
They were showing like it's happening. It's spreading.
No. I blue skies, man.
Okay. I mean, it's Vancouver. It's like a bubble city, anyways. Like they kind of exist on a different plane than
Don't you know my other nickname is the Bubble Boy?
the Bubble Boy.
How many nicknames are you going to have, Canada?
I know I'm not the Bubble Boy. Let's scrap that.
Oh man!
Oh,
man.
you remember the JF and B?
Yes, I am
Canada
the
F and
James
Dry.
I am James from Boston.
I wanted to be effing today too, so I decided to add one.
You want one up?
Can you say it? Let's introduce yourself, JFB.
Well, I mean, I am, of course, too sweet to be sour. Like to be on a higher level than everybody else. The JFB, James from Boston.
Yes. And I'm, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry. Damn it.
The full horseman of the POC ellipse. Well, I can't wait to talk about POC. Anyways, he is a curse. MF and Colonel H Stinkmeaner.
I'm Colonel H. Stinkmeaner. I get money.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. And of course, he's joined by just speechless, I'm telling you. We are joined, of course, by our fourth horseman. He's like the Tully Blanchard. He's the Optimus Prime, if you
It
will.
is. You know, have you noticed how much Golden Graham looks like Optimus Prime?
He does.
Just
A little bit.
right? It's not just me. Okay, I just want to make sure. I hate when it's just me.
Say it, Graham.
They do live action.
Say
And where-
Autobots transform and roll out. Say it.
There you go.
Autobots transform and roll out.
It's him!
It's him.
Damn it!
Well, the Graham, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm effing Golden Graham, and yeah, I don't know what to say after that. So
It's kind of hard to follow.
yeah,
It's the blue shirt. If he needs to wear a red shirt next time.
this is actually my Ravens shirt. It's purple. So.
Purple.
Purple was a color today that almost made me question why is the color purple on his tights, and then he matched up with the rest of the Young Bucks. So, anyways, you know what? That's for later.
We'll get to that.
I just want to get some housekeeping out of the way.
Yeah, do my friend.
I have the Kill City Cup shirt sent to me by our good friend Luke.
Yeah.
And so if you guys haven't subscribed to the Kill City Cup, I'll put the link in the notes and go on over to the Kill City Cup and give them a like and subscribe. They are freaking awesome.
Yeah.
My next thing is I got Haney's shirt he designed for Natalia Markova.
Yeah. Oh, that's such
It is just
Good shirt.
good quality. Crush, pin, repeat. I don't know if you can see it. And then, of course, I got the air freshener.
sweet.
What's
And
the
it
air
smell-
freshener? What scent is it?
Natalia said it's coconut, and it smells just like her, she said.
Oh,
And then, of course, I got the autographed picture of her, and it says, "Effing wrestling is the best. Love, Natalia Markova."
I mean, she's saying it. It's got to be true.
It's
Yeah.
got to be.
That's a ringing endorsement right there.
It's going to be worth $1 million.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. Well, it's blood and guts. This show should be awesome. It should be amazing. But to get the blood and guts, we got to go through a whole bunch of other rigmarole, like the first match. We finally get.
In fairness, we really didn't have to go through a lot to get to blood and guts.
That's true.
Like,
Everything was swift and quick, and how it should have been.
I got to be honest with you, JB. This show could be over in 45 minutes.
yeah,
You're right. I mean,
Yeah.
You're right. They could have just done a 2 hour.
No, I mean this show here that we're on.
Our
Yeah.
podcast could be 45 minutes.
We're going to be done when I say we're done.
2 hours later, can we
Like,
go
I'm
now?
on-
No.
I just want to go to sleep. No.
Jungle Boy, we get the bad Jungle Boy finally in a match. Hook for the FTW title. Why is he coming out to his face music? And then it plays for, I think, probably about 30 seconds too long. And then they kick into a video of him dragging a dead body into a grave wearing his old boots, which were like tan. And then he comes out and he's dressed in black and he's dyed his hair a little darker and he's got a little bit more peach fuzz on his face.
he's Jungle Man now.
Yeah, the music that he came out to baffles me because that would be played. And for those who don't know what it is, I actually wrote it down. It is,
The Symphony number 5.
Symphony No. 5 in C minor.
It's Mozart's Symphony number 5. So, yeah.
And it's a bit of like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. And
I don't think this will stick. I think they're going to change it up.
And then he goes into the rest of the heel 101. He drops an F-bomb here. He drops an F-bomb there. And he gets him, starts fronting on a kid. Hook is, I don't know what to say about Hook. I'm trying to be positive about it, but I think he is so far behind where he should be if he wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Just with the lineage that he has, he should know how and when it's time to be ready.
I agree with you guys on that. If anything, I mean, this match, this entire feud is really an indictment of Hook's lack of progress over the last year and some change, and not so much a celebration of of Jack Perry's heel turn.
Yeah.
Like, Jack Perry is still behind, I think, in some of the intangible areas. He's a fine wrestler. Absolutely. Like, I don't think there's not many holes in his game as far as that goes. But character work, promos and stuff, he's still not quite where he needs to be. I don't know if it's like a lack of confidence or just the opportunity not fully manifesting for him, but it's just, you ring the bell and he's good. With Hook, you ring the bell and that's where the problems start.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Golden Graham, your thoughts?
Oh, man, that suplex that Hook did on the outside scared me. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to drop Jack right on his head. Like,
Yeah. You weren't the only one, brother. You were not the only one.
But yeah, my favorite part of this, like, was the video package. That was the best part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Very
So,
true.
I mean, I'll say this about Hook. The brother can do a suplex, and he does it crisp, and he does it damn near perfectly, and he does it damn near like his father does. And that, but that in the body he punches, and that's it. And he just starts fumbling around like he doesn't have anything to do. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Well, you got to wonder, is AEW hearing people like us talking shit about Hook?
Yeah.
Are they hearing us? Because if they're not, then this is going to continue.
Yeah.
I think you need to take Hook off TV.
Yeah.
Bring him back to training.
Yeah.
And bring him back when he's ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't have a match at All Out or All In with Jungle Boy. Use this as an opportunity to get him better.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like it seems like you've been spot training some of these people, and you actually see this with a number of people. When you look at people like Big Shotty, when you look at people like Sean Dean, people who should have been on, like, I guess, quote unquote, main roster by now. And these are people that you started with. They're learning how to wrestle, and they know how to wrestle. They don't know how to make a match.
Yeah.
Like, Hook don't know how to sell.
Yeah.
Hook is like Hook sells like 06 John Cena. Either not at all, or like he has been shot every time he gets touched.
Yeah.
Those two things you just don't. It doesn't make for good pacing. It doesn't make for good story, and the drama's not there.
Yeah.
And Trey, he doesn't have the body type of a John Cena.
No, not at all.
So you got the smaller guy.
Unless you're
acting like
unless
he's
you're
Whoopi
Dallas.
Goldberg.
Dallas believes it does.
It doesn't work.
This match was just. We knew that.
I like the
Perry-
ending though. The ending was cool.
Yeah,
A classic wrestling ending.
Yeah. But it's hard to take Jack Perry's. You can't start taking him serious as a heel until he gets into a match with a legitimate person like Darby Allin or MJF. Anybody,
But you know what the nice thing about this is? Now you can make that title credible
Yeah.
Yeah,
because Jack Perry can actually wrestle.
absolutely.
Unlike
Hook.
Hook, right? So it I don't think that title there's just, they say the title elevates people.
Yeah.
This didn't elevate him at all.
Oh no. Anything, it kept him down. It's a big anchor.
Yeah, those unbeaten streaks are really double-edged swords.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, did they even mention? I mean, I know they mentioned his undefeated streak, but did they mention what the number was?
no.
I think they may have mentioned it like slightly when he was coming down to the ring.
Right.
And that would have been on a little banner.
Yeah.
Well, you look at the people that held that belt before him. You got Brian Cage, you got Ricky Starks, you got Taz, you got Sabu.
Yeah.
Like these are all legit
Yeah. Absolutely.
wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, it's time that you give Jack Perry a run on a belt to just see how it feels. Like he's the test drive. This belt is the test drive.
I'd love for him as a heel to start pushing people around to make it a legit title. I think that would be fun.
I mean, Tony Khan, we know you're listening, so just do it. Do what Canada Dry says. We're going to backstage with Jericho, and apparently Alex, whatever is, I don't know why Marvez, yeah. Why they I don't know why they keep referring to him by his full Christian name is beyond me. But hey, what are you gonna do? It's a lunch meeting with Jericho and Callis. Then we go to our first vignette. MJF, Adam Cole, in the middle of a parking lot in downtown Boston. I learned a lot about MJF. I'll tell you what I learned, okay? I learned that he
But
does.
yeah, can I ask you a question, JFP?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this Chinese restaurant that we're talking about here?
Oh, yeah.
You know that Chinese restaurant?
I've seen it. I've been there many times.
And it actually looks like that inside.
It does, yes.
That's
Is the
awesome.
food as hot as they made it out to be?
You can get it flaming hot, like you would burn your tongue to the point where it needed to be like surgically repaired.
I wanted one of those pineapple drinks. It looks good.
It's just pure alcohol. It's just
Like this much pineapple, this much alcohol.
yeah, exactly. Like a thimble, and then it's like a full like 4-finger pour, and then it's like, here you go. It's pineapple. It's not. It's just pure alcohol with a hint of pineapple. Like you'll be drunk before you realize that there's no pineapple in it. So
It's funny. There's this Chinese restaurant that I guess because they don't have a alcohol license,
yeah,
and it's the only place open, so they will give you beer in teapots. It's like under the table sort of drinking. It's like it's kind of like
I like it.
it's like I'd like some tea, please. You know what you're getting. He's like, 'cause you're not done drinking.
Yeah, or basically order any drink that's that's not Coke or water, and I guarantee you they'll tell you, nah, you'll be fine. Yeah, it's just pure alcohol. Like there's just pure alcohol. But MJF, holy cow. Kowloons, for those from Boston who know and listen to us, share your thoughts about Kowloons because it is literally one of the best places to eat at any time in any emotion. It's just awesome. I think the last time MJF sweated like that was when an unexpected pregnancy. Keep your fingers crossed. Let it come back blue and not pink. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I love the over exaggeration by MJF talking about Big Bill, 600 plus pounds that we wrestled in front of 99,000 or 999,000 people. And
The
At the
Saskatoon Silverdome.
Saskatoon Silverdome, that was the best line.
this is why I love this version of MJF because it's pure zaniness, and near the end they're drunk. I mean, they are just drunk. Canada Dry, you go first. My God, what do you think about this?
Oh, what's more to say? You know, like their camaraderie and all of these, like week after, like this was the best one, I think. To me.
Yeah.
They're looking at this Chinese guy, and they're like, "It looks like Sammy Guevara."
Yeah.
No, it looks like Danny Garcia. It's like it looks like nothing like either of them. The Chinese man's just looking at them.
Ew.
Oh my goodness, I loved this segment, and the Pontiac, the Saskatoon Silverdome was the best line.
Absolutely. Wow. There you go. That's all right. He'll be back.
They always come back.
Yeah, they always come back. Well, dang nabbit, effing Golden Graham, your turn. Your thoughts?
Oh, I love this. I was laughing through this whole skit. Like, part of me, like, I don't know if anyone out there watches Adam Cole when he was on Up, Up, Down, Down in the WWE, but he was known as the Chili Beast.
Yeah.
So I kind of expected him to no sell the heat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
MJF was like dying, but no, like it was perfect. I loved every second of this.
Oh yeah. It was so beautiful. Like the MJF that we have, or I like to refer to him as the real bro, because he is literally this really douchey frat bro. Like he's playing it to a T. We'll get into the match at some point. We'll get into the match. I was going to wait for Trey J, but maybe Trey J is having internet problems. I don't know. Let's go to our vignette with Jericho and Callis. And the thing I learned is Alex is a fat-headed idiot, which I thought was the best line. It was the best line probably of the night when Jericho just says, yeah.
And this is weirdly set up too.
It is.
Like this should be first, and then later on,
yeah,
he comes in. Guys, breaking news! And like he's clearly not a good reporter.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
He's definitely the worst at what he does.
Yeah, I mean, how does he have a job? Does he have something on the Khan family? And he's just like, just give me a chance. He is.
You know something.
Horrible. My God, we're on to the second match. Boop, boop, ba-doo, doo. Britt Baker. DMD. Man, was expecting a decent match. Did not know who were
What do we call these matches?
Squish matches. That's what this was.
Like this was super squishy.
Yeah. Here's my. She's taking on, of course, effing intern Kayla. Oh, I have one note. Kayla's showing some spunk. A little bit, got a little offense in, and Britt took care of it. It was basically the squishiest squish match I think I've ever seen. Canada Dry, you want?
I think there's not much we can say other than it was the squishiest squish match we ever seen.
Yeah,
but we can get Trey J's thoughts on the stuff that he wasn't able to talk about.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, let's talk about the venue. Well, let's talk about we got the Jericho lunch meeting with Jericho and Callis.
Yeah, not too much on that. I was like, I want to see that. It was kind of like a nice tease to see if it is a thing, but I want to kind of talk about that when we get to the end, if that's okay. Like the end of the show, because I feel like it ties more into that than it did,
Yeah.
Alex Haney with the great comment here. What is he doing up?
He's waiting for you to. He's waiting for you to call him.
Obviously, he misses me.
Were you supposed to pick up the phone?
He feels left out at this point. It's really sad, actually.
King Haney has hacked my computer.
Oh wow!
And he's got something on me, so I have to obey him. So I'm not going to cross him.
That's not very kingly of him if he's hacking you.
Shut up! Don't piss him off.
He's like, don't piss him off.
Over.
That is funny.
He can get right back in my computer like that.
I love every bit of whatever is about to happen with this. So
we go to the vignette with MJF, Trey J.
Yeah. Like I told you yesterday, and I think this proves it more than anything. If they give this the abrupt ending, it's gonna ruin. It feels like it's gonna be such a letdown. Nobody at this point wants this story to end. This could be AEW's first truly defining story.
Absolutely.
And it's all they have to do is just let it play out naturally. Don't feel like you gotta immediately turn somebody. Even the fact that there's some history here with MJF and of course FTR with the Pinnacle. There's actually some history they can draw on between Adam Cole and the Revival if they really wanted to. There's so much here.
I have some more notes. There's so many ways they could go with this.
Oh, I was about to say it's insane to think like this story should not end anytime soon. This story shouldn't end in until mid 2024.
Yeah.
This is like the Double or Nothing main event if they really want to end, if they really want to carry this to its proper conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta. I mean, you gotta stretch this out. You can't.
Like think about how many times in our lifetimes we've actually watched lightning in a bottle. We're old enough to remember when Scott Hall walked out on Nitro.
Yeah.
And even then it was kind of like
not me. Cody Rhodes was my first IC champ.
But when you think about like those things, there are certain moments that you remember. Sergeant Slaughter turning on the United States was a big one back in the day.
I read about that.
See, and you remember those things. There are certain things that you just when you let it happen, it plays out wonderfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jimmy. Okay.
We're talking about match number 2, which was Britt Baker and effing intern Kayla Sparks.
I didn't even watch this match. Like until you said it right now, I didn't know that match had happened.
Oh yeah.
It was so quick.
It's like literally, this is a blink and you miss it type match.
Yeah, this was like Britt needed her win back because she lost like 2 weeks ago. Like let's, we can't put you on darker elevation anymore because they don't exist. But
yeah, I mean,
Makoto Kino is saying Noob blocked one of her friends.
oh wow,
some drama in the chat.
I know. I'd post it up there, but I might leave it up there all night.
This is kind of a sidebar, but you guys know like Maki Ito is officially a free agent now, right? And AEW was huge on her like for a while. Like a matter of fact, AEW gave her a lot of international exposure. I would not be surprised to see Maki Ito get scooped up.
Yeah.
Well, you saw what she said. She said her dream is to wrestle full time for AEW.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing that we finally are at the point to where it's not WWE is my dream and there's another viable option.
Oh, absolutely.
For someone to
go.
Well,
it's funny because Natalia Markova's dream was to be a WWE superstar. And now it's not. It's to be an AEW superstar. It's like it's just how things work nowadays because of what's going on there.
Yeah.
I think your main I'll go ahead, Trader. I just dropped it.
No, I think when we look at how things have changed,
right?
Like the fact that even Cody Rhodes made mention of this on Raw once. I created a company that allowed a lot of people to make a lot more money.
Yeah,
and it's more than that now. Like it is literally a viable alternative if you don't like what you see elsewhere.
Yeah,
you look at, what's MLW doing right now? They got a new champion with Alex Kane. Like, who is Alex Kane? I don't know. I probably couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
No.
Impact had the weirdest booked Slammiversary I've ever seen in my entire life. There was so much wrong with that. Like, I'm still trying to be like, I washed that out. AEW, the things that are happening now are making sense. And that wasn't always the case. Sometimes it was like, we're going to try stuff and see what happens. But a lot of things that are happening now are making sense. And it's become a cohesive show. I mean, this right here is a show that had 4 matches.
Yeah.
One match lasted an hour.
Yeah.
Collision had a match that lasted an hour.
Yeah.
Who's complaining about them? This is free TV.
No.
This is free TV, and we're getting hour-long matches. We haven't had that since Flair's run.
Yeah.
Woo!
Back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, this is a very different thing. Whereas, we wouldn't get that before. The last time Raw had an hour-long match was the day after WrestleMania, and it was Cena versus Michaels. And it tore the house down, but that was years ago. That was double-digit years ago.
That's the exception, not the rule.
Right. So
we'll see. So we go go to Renee backstage to Renee, which this should have been part of the dinner at Kowloon's then, because they they exchange a gift with each other. Adam Cole made matching jackets, and MJF had matching trunks made. So, and then they introduced the match, and I don't know where backstage is and where they're recording versus where wrestlers are getting dressed, and how far. I know the dressing room is not right around the corner. Like there's some walking to do, and instantly, like, we're expected to believe that, hey, guess what? I'm already in my trunks and my matching jacket. Like,
AFB, they're better than us, okay? It's okay.
They can do it quickly.
Yeah.
Jeez, mystifies me. I'm reading a book about time right now, and it mystifies me.
We're over
Missing
here.
time. They were abducted by aliens.
We're acting like plebeians when it comes to time.
But you know what they
Yeah.
said that they didn't really go follow through there, or maybe you guys can fill me in. Adam Cole said, "I have a surprise for you."
It was the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the
okay,
mashup
okay.
music,
All right,
Yeah, it was the remix.
which I absolutely loved.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
I don't even have the notebook where I normally put out when Canada Dry says I absolutely love, but I did. I absolutely love this.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, Jericho, here's some of my notes. I mean, with Renee and MJF and Cole, I mean, they get their jackets and stuff and they rush off because they have to change like that into their gear and then make it right outside within mere seconds. But the Jericho comes out and I'm like, why is Jericho coming out? And he's coming for commentary. I don't know. I was expecting something like, and then Jericho on commentary is not bad. Don't get me wrong, but like, there should have been something there. There should have been a purpose for Jericho being there. How can you hate this team of Cole and MJF? I mean, fans love it.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned tonight is that Taz was born hot. It wasn't something he built up and then eventually became hot-headed. He was born hot. All these things you learn under the learning tree with Taz. You know what? I could babble on and on, but Canada Dry, you go first. Third match of the night.
Other than the the dance off,
Yeah.
this is probably my least favorite of the matches.
Yeah.
The double clothesline was good,
Yeah.
but it was the least of the wrestling matches and the least entertaining. But at the same time, I still liked it, but it wasn't quite on par with the other ones.
Yeah.
The hug at the beginning, though, you can't tell me that it didn't catch you in the feels, right?
Yeah. What about the ending though? With he's handing MJF the belt and pushing, it's like they're teasing something there.
Yeah, but they were teasing something with Roddy too. So it's like you have two loaded guns and you're not sure I should shoot the guy that's trying to break down my door and burn my house down. Like, you can't be like,
You know, in the office when they're like got the guns pointing at each other.
I mean,
Okay, so
yeah, seriously.
let me respond. Like, my thing is like this story. It's not about the wrestling, so I didn't expect this match to be 5 stars.
Yeah.
It like this is storytelling at its finest.
Yeah.
Like And honestly, like, this is sports entertainment when it's done well, which other companies can do, but sometimes they overdo it. So like that end where you're talking about, like when Adam Cole gets up and like, I was conflicted because I don't know, is MJF mad or is he just disappointed? Like,
Well, you
it
saw that
can
look
be
he
either way.
gave after he said, it's on me, and then he just looked at him like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
there.
but slowly that evil face fades away to like a look of concern, like, I'm disappointed because I really thought we were going to be friends,
Yeah.
type thing. So,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I've said a lot of things about MJF in the past. I even said something on our All F and Wrestling page today that I'm really not impressed with this run of MJF as champion. There's just something that's missing.
Yeah.
But like tonight, it shows that he's capable of so much more than what we've seen.
Yeah.
When he finally does do the face run,
Oh, he's gonna be.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. He's getting his practice. I don't know if they're going to give him his flowers just yet, but he's getting practice.
Yeah, this definitely feels like a dry run for a full-fledged baby face MJF.
Yeah. Because I think it would be, he can't have a bad day. Like, he can't ever cheat. He can't really wear dark colors. Like, he's got to wear face stuff, and he's got to get like a face look.
Definitely. Without question.
And once they kind of shine him up a little bit, and whatever direction they want to go with, they got to make him a face. I mean,
it took Roddy Piper a long time before he became a face.
Oh, it took but when
it took Hogan turning heel for him to become a face.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was WrestleMania 3.
Oh, Joseph Graham made me chuckle. They teased the turn. FTR comes out, which I thought was unnecessary. Like, if they're going to come out to the top of the ring, but it was like very awkward because these are 4 gentlemen that have no real connection with each other outside of maybe some indie events in their young age. But it was clunky. Like, it just felt clunky. It didn't feel like it moved at all. So,
okay, so real quick, I know we were talking about this earlier, but like the different connections that Trey J was talking about.
Yeah.
There's so many. You have the Pinnacle connection.
Yeah.
You have Punk and MJF.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have Adam Cole, who used to be in Bullet Club, who could easily be Bullet Club Gold.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many ways that this story can go to really prolong it if they want to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they're smart, they'll do it.
Yes. I hope they do. I don't want this Adam Cole MJF pairing to end anytime soon because it's hilarious.
I think it will.
I think it will too, but I don't want it to.
Yeah, it's like we don't want it to end, but that's the hook. Because we love it so much, and they're like, too bad.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, Tony Khan, if he books this for the casual fan, that you can hook them into being a long-term fan, they're not doing it the right way. They're giving you a good 2 months worth or 3 months worth of work and cramming it to 3.5 weeks and say, this is how it's supposed to be done is criminal, is what it is.
What is interesting is the TNT Battle Royal.
And we get a Battle Royale and on Rampage.
The winner gets a TNT title shot at All Out.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Something good came out of this.
Yeah.
Something good came out of this shiny old turd, but
It wasn't the turd we expected.
Yeah. So they start lowering the cage. They start hyping the main event of the night. By God, it's going to be Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite. It's blood and guts. But before we do, Renee with the best friends and Darby's hanging out with Nick Wayne backstage. Darby challenges Orange Cassidy to a fight for another wrestler, AR Fox.
Like, how much of Darby's backstory do we have to get through in these shows?
Yeah.
This is a guy who helped me out when I was homeless, so I'm a challenge. Like, it's kind of one of those things. Like, it's not like Orange Cassidy has been selfish about giving out title opportunities.
Yeah. AR Fox could have asked himself, and he would have been like, "Sure, whatever."
Yeah. Okay.
He didn't need an advocate. If anything, it makes it more, obvious that he's just not he's not on the level.
The other thing that was interesting about this is they just slid Statlander back into best friends without any no, you're back in there.
As they should. It's like if you're best friends, you don't need explanation. So you can't dry you would know that if you had friends.
I have lots of friends.
Is that what they tell you? That's just like, that's my guy. I'm your friend. What the fuck?
Nick Wayne, I liked what he did. Are you on the end of this? He's like, It's like that was a good little diss. He's like, I don't want to be part of your little best friend.
Yeah. Yay, we're all best friends. Woo! With a big camera zoom.
Oh my God. For a minute, I thought he was asking for a title shot for Nick Wayne, to be honest.
I was like, oh, Nick Wayne's about to be 0-2.
Yeah, like the weird thing is like this guy's not even in your little segment here. At least he could be in the camera shot. He's like, okay, I'll do it.
I didn't notice this before, but man, Darby Allin has terrible posture.
Oh, it's horrible.
Like his back is like a hook.
It's probably from all the from getting thrown down concrete steps.
I understand that, but God, you need to have somebody walk on that thing.
With these foam rollers, just use that. Just crack your back.
Man, that's a little slice of heaven right there.
I love my foam roller. Love it. Best thing I've ever bought from Amazon. Probably cost them 25 cents to buy. And I paid like $60-something, but
we're gonna end on time for once. Because how much can we talk about blood and guts?
There wasn't much.
So here's a couple of my notes.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple. Claudio, what did Claudio shave?
Yes.
Okay.
Claudio shaved everything.
Yeah,
Claudio shaved his face. He shaved his chest.
Yeah.
He probably shaved the hair off his arms.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one because I'm like, damn.
You know where you got shaved at?
Backstage.com.
Backstage.com. Should we do our advertisements before we get into
it? I'll work them in.
Yeah. Are you okay? Are you okay, JFB?
I'm just I'm trying to think of
JFB is trying to hide his disappointment with this entire show because he had a lot last week. He had a lot of hype going into it. He had a lot of high expectations.
Yeah.
This man was expecting Oppenheimer and he got a dud. He got AEW's explosion from the exploding barbed wire match. Like, I think he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This hurt my soul. This really did because they had an opportunity and it's a huge loss. I'll say this.
I think JFB is a glass half full man.
I am.
I really do.
I have when it comes to well-told stories, I'm hooked, whether it's wrestling, or a Spanish Mexican soap opera,
Yeah.
which I'll watch because I get invested with this relationship, not knowing anything of the language other than where's the bathroom. So
Pero ir al baño.
yeah. But if you get a story, I'll follow it. It's all about story for me. I could care less about people's alignments. Boom, do not care. Great stories, I get hooked immediately. The pop for Ibushi, oh my god. I'll tell you what those people were on. They were on W. Crowd,
You're absolutely right.
that crowd freaking just popped. And I guarantee you that they got the starter kit. And they're already in their shakers and they're just drinking. They're like, yes. Because they kept chanting, we want fire.
Their chants just got more sadistic as the match went on. It's like, we want tables. They put out tables like, okay, let's go with fire.
All you got to do is go to w.gg, type in the code, effing wrestling, get 10% off.
Your tire order.
Tire order. No jitters, no sugars. That's all you need to know.
No shakes, no malodextrins.
None of that. Oh,
You know, my favorite part of this match was. My favorite part of the match was when Matt is standing on top of the cage and he's pouring the thumbtacks in, and like they can't look up.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't look up because you don't want to get hit in the eye with one of those things. Like, you just can't look up. And I just think it's hilarious because they're just kind of standing there like almost like dumbfounded that they're just getting rained on by tacks.
Yeah.
And those tacks caused so many problems throughout this match.
Yeah.
Like, even like, I think Ibushi landed one in his wrist. When they did like the 5 like off the top rope moves, like everybody caught some tacks.
Yeah.
I think somebody like did a 450 and like their knees went into the tacks.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah. I got to say, great ad placement by Red Cross. Blood and Guts match ruined by Excalibur talking.
Yep.
It should have just been a graphic. Just explain it.
Yep.
QR code. Boom. Now you're done.
And Shark Week.
Yeah. Chompy the shark.
Yep.
I said this in our group chat. It's like, whoever is the person that decided to have Aquaman as the host of Shark Week needs a raise.
Yeah.
Because that is just genius.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? Freaking Shark Boy was there, but he didn't come out.
I know. Yeah, I read about that. I saw that.
It's like,
perfect opportunity. It's free advertising for Shark Boy, that's for sure. That brother ain't doing so well from what I hear. So bring him in. Bring him in. Canada Dry, let's go with you first. Your thoughts on Blood and Guts?
I enjoyed the match. I looked at what it was, and it's no different than any of the other ones. What they did do different this year, instead of having everyone all out there, they had people getting their things to come out one at a time during the match, which I don't really like because, you know, it takes time to come to the ring.
Yeah.
But that's the point of it, though.
No, but when you already have commercial breaks,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to waste any time watching a guy come to the ring.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that one. Unless you can get the commercials timed to when he's coming to the ring. But
you
I would rather have everyone just out and come out as a team.
Yeah, but you can't really do that only because I don't think there's no indication that I know of that Ibushi is officially a signee with AEW. Like I don't think.
And I think the only reason they did that was because they get the bigger pop with the Bushi with the at the end there.
Yeah, I mean the Ibushi pop was organic because it shows you that the crowd, for the most part, understands wrestling as a world rather than, or wrestling as a universe, and AEW is just a little planet. Like, I mean, that's, but yeah. Let's go to Colonel HMFN Stink Meter.
I really enjoyed parts of this match. Like, I think that even seeing the end, Moxley's overly dejected look, like they didn't show you Moxley surrendering to save Yuta, but you could just see Moxley's face, like he was just done.
Yeah.
The whole Pac leaving, that was foreshadowed during different parts of the match.
Yeah.
Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yep.
Takeshita being pulled out by Callis, that I think is going to tie more into Jericho, him and what he's been talking about with Jericho, more so than anything else. And that's what I'm kind of hoping with. Like, that story, I think, is going to play out very well for Takeshita, because now he wasn't technically involved in the loss. He'd already left.
Yeah.
And it looked like, sadly enough, he looked like he left fresh. Like, he didn't look scathed at all.
No.
So
can we answer the question plainly? Why is John Moxley bleeding out of every orifice and opening on his body, including ones that have been placed and punctured?
What's funny because Kenny Omega should be the bloody one.
Brother got a screwdriver and a fork.
Yes, but I need to bleed. The need for bleed.
need for bleed.
I was like, I was surprised he didn't come to the ring already bloodied. Like, show him hitting a locker, bashing a beer can, well, not a beer can, but like a soda can, like, just freaking, like, have him take an empty glass thing and cup and smash it on his head. Like,
I wish one of the questions on our forum was, will Moxley bleed? Because that would have been a free point for everyone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, kids. You want to join our prediction league. If there's ever a time when you know you're going to get this right, is if you listen to the show. Because Moxley will bleed right as soon as somebody hits him.
Every time.
And then we'll punch him in the belly, and all of a sudden his head explodes. And it's just blood.
Honestly, I think some of the blood, like, he can't even control anymore. Like, he's just been bladed so much. I think it's just so thin he can't do
the
it.
The body's like, I bleed now. I bleed now.
Aww.
Okay. So, real quick, I got a couple thoughts on this.
Do it.
For one, perfect two people to start this match off. 5 minutes of actual wrestling between Omega and Claudio. They've never had a one-on-one match before, to my knowledge.
Never.
Loved it. Another thing, like, Ibushi did his best Jeff Hardy impression, taking his sweet time to get to the ring and to save his best friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, move with a little bit of urgency, please. But, man, there's just Kenny Omega and some of those suplex, like, he hit, I think it was Yuta with, no, it was Pac. He did a Snapdragon that landed right on his head. Like, that looked so bad because it was in that glass, too.
Yep.
Like, gosh.
Yeah,
Like,
Pac taking a nosedive into the mat. I thought they were going to just cancel the match at this point. They're like, "Hey, we got a guy with a broken neck," because like that face plant did not look good at all.
Yeah.
It
But-
was cringeworthy.
But I just want to speak to the end real quick. Like, the fact that Pac left and that Takeshita left, like, I think it was smart because Blackpool Combat Club had to lose, but it's a way to keep them strong. They were basically outmanned 5-3.
Yeah.
Like, the Golden Elite get their comeuppance on BCC that is rightfully deserved.
Yeah.
And BCC themselves, they're not going to be harmed by this. They'll come back.
I hope this feud is over, though.
Yeah, I would.
Joseph.
I really do. I think we're going to spin off to the Elite and the Callis family. I think is what we're going to get next.
I hope so. I'm tired
Yeah,
of
dude.
this. Dude.
My question though is like they announced like we were supposed to figure out who would be Claudio's opponent for Death Before Dishonor after Blood and Guts, but they didn't do it as far as I know, right?
They left
Because it was a very generalized statement. See, right now it's still after Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
As long as they didn't say it earlier during the show, it's going to be after Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
See, that's that four-dimensional chess right there.
Yeah. Wait, who's his opponent now? I can't remember.
They didn't announce it.
Oh, they didn't? Sorry.
Yeah, because Mark Briscoe's injured.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe is injured. Which is, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not jazzed about Ring of Honor. I watched a couple.
Yeah, like a lot of these matches look like very one-sided. Samoa Joe versus Dalton Castle is not what I'm excited about.
That's a Dynamite match.
Yeah. Athena versus Willow Nightingale. You almost got to look at the fact that Athena's definitely going to retain because she just lost the other one.
Yeah.
And Willow doesn't need it because
she's already a champ.
She just won the Owen Hart.
Yeah.
She won the Owen Hart. She won the other title.
Yeah.
The only good match on that is going to be that 4-way tag match.
You don't think Shibata versus Garcia is going to be good?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that'll be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you? I mean, you can't tell these stories because they don't. I mean,
yeah, that's the problem. You really can't.
Disconnect on Ring of Honor right now. Like,
well, it's because they're a streaming service. They're not on TV. So.
Yeah. That Honor Club TV, like they had, like I don't know if you guys know this. There was actually an ROH television championship tournament.
Yeah.
On ROH, and it was like Dalton Castle, Tony Nese, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean. And I can honestly tell you, like, as soon as they announced it, you knew that Dalton Castle was going to win. Because Shane Taylor, I don't even think is signed, and the other two don't win matches.
Yeah. I would like to see Shane Taylor. I think Shane Taylor versus Samoa Joe would have been a nice match.
Shane Taylor versus Samoa Joe would have been a nice match, and that's exactly why we didn't get it.
If you're in Florida, we have a really big card coming up.
Oh yeah, we do.
It's July 22nd. Back to the barn, and this is FTW's school, but they got a lot of big names coming to this thing.
Yeah, I don't have that graphic.
You have the FTW, yes. So this is Fight the World, FTW Wrestling.com. You can become a wrestler for $250 a month. Now, you could be in one of these big shows that they're doing if you show promise.
Yeah.
This show is only $22 a month. Or not a month, $22 to get in.
Yeah.
Like if I was in Florida, I'd be like making sure I got to this.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I'd drive to go see it. I mean, it's good old-fashioned indie wrestling the way it should be. Yeah.
Well, you got Natalia versus La Barbara. Like that's a triple A match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They bring the heat. You know, more people are going to want to pay attention to it. You know, it'd be nice if they built a little storyline built in there that bleeds into NWA. I think that would be freaking fantastic
Yeah, totally.
because that puts more eyes on the NWA. You
Yeah.
know. Whew.
Should
Anybody
we
else?
do our bells?
I think we should. Yeah, let's do our bells. Ah, Canada Dry. Whew. Thank God, Trey J's here because I'm not doing math tonight. Not.
Oh man, we were off on collision by 1%. I said 4.7. It was 4.6.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got Dally in the message afterwards, and he told me you were close. You were close.
But the key is you just have to be confident with the delivery, and no one will question you.
Oh yeah. But Dally's good at math, so he's gonna tell me.
4.5, 4.6.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this a 4. And obviously, the best match on the card is the main feature, the Blood and Guts match.
Yeah.
My favorite segment is obviously Adam Cole, baby, and MJF. Wow, 90,000 fans watched him slam Big Bill at the Saskatoon Silverdome, baby. Wow. Loved it. 4 stars.
Okay. Trey J.
I gotta give this show 3 stars. It's something about it just didn't feel as hyped for a special event. Honestly, like I didn't even know Britt had a match, but it was window dressing because I guess they just felt like they had to for numbers purposes. My favorite match was not Blood and Guts. It was actually gonna be, I'm gonna say, the Blind Limited Tag Finals. That had enough entertainment for me.
Yeah.
The problem with the Blood and Guts match was Moxley comes in third. Moxley brings the broken glass. And it's like, that's too early for that kind of a spot.
Yeah.
And from that point on, now you're trying to avoid certain aspects of the match. Like that whole side of the ring is now useless because the glass is everywhere.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the referee with a broom once in a while.
Yeah. And then it's like then on the other side of the match, you put the tacks. Now both sides of the ring are death traps. Not visual death traps that it was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so great to watch this match. But they're like tripwires for the entire match. The MJF match was exactly what I wanted it to be. And why I don't want the storyline to end. You gotta tease certain things sometimes, and I think this did a great job of doing that.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
It really has that best friend, that Step Brothers moment when you're just like, did we just become best friends? Like, it was fantastic, and for a lot of good reasons.
You tell me where you're gonna have Randy Jackson sign his autograph,
right?
On a freaking katana. Golden Graham, your turn.
I'm giving this 4. Like, I was thoroughly sports entertained tonight on basically everything.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing that didn't hold my attention. Like, I enjoyed it. The time flew by. It didn't drag.
Yeah.
Favorite match for me is Blood and Guts just because it's a spectacle. It's a once a year thing. And obviously, favorite segment, promo is obviously MJF and Adam Cole. Like, it's just pure gold.
Okay. I wish I had that enthusiasm like you guys do. I really do. But this show felt like they advertised Britt early and said, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and just, now we got to put her in a match. Now we got to take her 8 minutes or 7 minutes she would have normally got, and we got the squish match because they went long somewhere. Like, it felt clunky. My favorite match was Blood and Guts, but even that, you know what? I'm changing it. I'm going to change it on the fly because the JFB, the show is in Boston. I'm going with the mixed tag match because it was exactly what it needed to be. Just like Trey J said, it was perfect. It was pure perfection. But I'm going to give it 3 stars.
Graham, what'd you get? How many stars you give it?
4.
Okay. So I guess our composite is a 3.5.
All right.
That one was an easy one.
Yeah, it was really easy. And it wasn't bad. Like the show wasn't bad. It was just something that just, I don't know, maybe starting it off with Hook and Jungle Boy wasn't where it should have been. Maybe having them splice in fighting through the arena to start off, and then having the mixed tag match first, and or even start with Britt.
Yeah.
Because anywhere can be Brittsburg.
Yeah.
I think it could possibly be how great that Saturday night of wrestling was.
Yeah, that could have been it too.
Set the bar so freaking high.
Oh, yeah.
You have nowhere to go but down.
Yeah. I mean, my problem with Blood and Guts is, like, I'm not expecting guts. I get it. It's a term for marketing, but I wanted more chaos. I wanted more.
If a man walks into a ring with a fork and stabs 3 other men, one of them should bleed, and it shouldn't be him.
But JP, there's no difference between this and the other 2 Blood and Guts. They're basically the same.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, there was more bloodshed in the previous 2.
There was a lot more chaos in the last Blood and Guts match. I mean, when you think about like the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the BCC, that was a match that had people on top of the cage, climbing on wires, out in the crowd.
Well, you also got to remember that they had some rules in there that have been placed in, so I think they're limited a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it hurt the action of it all. Like everything felt confined in this.
Yeah.
And that's something that we don't normally get when it comes to Blood and Guts matches. There's a reason why escaping the cage doesn't result in a victory in AEW.
Right.
So therefore, when you leave the cage in a Blood and Guts match, chaos is supposed to go off. Like you got people running out of the cage to try to run up on Ibushi. Like, really?
Yeah.
Who's running up on Ibushi? Like, you don't even know this guy,
Brother's supposed to like 30 pounds on.
Yes.
I kind of wish that AEW would implement WWE's rule when it comes to this, where you get disqualified if you leave the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But it's always been that way, though. It's always been like, didn't Jericho get tossed off of a Blood and Guts thing, and then he got tossed off of the top of the cage into like a mat one time?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why Sammy Guevara had to surrender. And then, somebody, I think one of the Jericho Appreciation guys was tapping out to Claudio, and that's what pissed off Kingston.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like this was a lot more straightforward. Like we knew who was going to win this match last week.
Yeah.
There was a lot less drama, and maybe that's the difference. We didn't even have to know who had the advantage to know who was going to win.
Yeah.
But as soon as Claudio came out, you're like, okay, well, he's coming out first. They're going to have the advantage during the match. They're going to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I can't really disagree.
It was good. It was a good match. It just wasn't a great Blood and Guts match compared to what we've seen.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of it had to do with Ibushi. I think Ibushi, because who doesn't want to see Mox versus Ibushi?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't want to see that?
Well, Ibushi didn't have to sell much in this match at all.
No. And I think
Ibushi was throwing some real shots in there.
Oh, he was.
I don't know if you caught that. Ibushi was throwing some stiff ones in there, and I was like, why?
Yeah. Oh, those kicks to Claudio? Like,
yeah. Like one of them kicks to Claudio, you could tell Claudio was like either pissed or hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I feel like there's grudges that are happening that we don't know about that we're seeing being played.
Yeah.
So this is the end of our show. Where
did the time go?
Where did the time go?
Time.
I'll tell you where it went. Talking about Blood and Guts with just blood and that's it. And that blood was like Moxley had blood coming down the front, down the back. It's just
So we got some shows that we got to advertise.
yeah. Let's talk about our shows.
So on Saturday, we have a fireside chat with Liam and the effing experts.
Oh,
We have a fireside chat, and they're going to talk about fireplaces for the first 15 minutes of the show. And then, of course, later on that evening, we have another After Dark show.
Yeah.
It's Collision After Dark.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Collision. I'm excited for Collision this week. And then, of course, on Sunday,
yeah,
it's time for the round table again.
Yeah, I love the round table.
I booked the Golden Graham for the show so far. We'll see who else I get.
Okay. I'm going to have some really good questions. Really good thought processing, So you're like, hey, KFB, how can I be as cool as you? Well, multiple ways to find us. We're on social media. Sometimes we're on there a lot more than we should be. But you can go to fnwrestling.com or you can go right below us in the description. It says right there all our social media links. Go anywhere there. You can join AFW. You can just sit there and just be in the chat rooms and just chat away. Like whatever you want to do, just join us. You'll make amazing friends. But you want to kind of show some support. So you're like, well, how can I help you guys get better guests? Just donate some money. Like we have tiers. You can subscribe, click and do it. 5, 20, 30. That goes to our guests. That goes to booking our guests. Then, you can always buy a shirt. Like say you want to buy the All Effing Wrestling shirt. Say you want to buy
I like that shirt.
It's a great shirt. It's a great freaking shirt. I love this shirt.
You know what's sad about having these shirts is like as you wash them, they get less glorious as you go. So you have to buy another shirt.
Yeah, exactly. They start falling apart. They're not made like they used to. So you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling, where you can get those shirts. I mean, somebody wears it way better than I do, and that's Natalia Markova, as you can tell. Homegirl likes effing wrestling. I mean, we have an autograph that says so. So it's literally perfect. So anyways, we also support probably one of the greatest old-time wrestlers ever that's not in a Hall of Fame and should be, and it's a shame, and that's Adrian Adonis. You may have seen him on Dark Side of the Ring. He was on there just recently where, they kind of talked about the bad parts about his life, but I think it was more of a hit job than anything else.
I got a message from someone, and they're like, I'm just curious, why do you like Adrian Adonis so much? Why is he so special to you? And he's like, well, I was looking at your picture and his. I'm like, are you guys related? I'm like, no.
From
the store.
Yeah, sometimes Adrian kind of, sometimes I'm sure he in his treks through Canada.
Are you saying he got my mom pregnant?
I'm not saying anything. Oh,
back it up.
Whoa. So go to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get all your Adrian Adonis gear. Oh, man, it's time to wrap this show. On behalf of Canada Dry, the Colonel himself, Trey J. Styles, the effing Golden Graham, I am the JFB.
And as you walk this road of life, and you might slip and fall and hurt yourself, and you're sitting on your ass, feel sorry for yourself. Well, it's time to get up, dust yourself off, and remember to just keep fighting.
That's right. Put them dukes up.
Ding, ding.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.